Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now let us move on to the second assignment given by the Academic Staff College for me. That is Democracy and Development, Dr. Ambedkar's perception. In the first session, deliberately I made an abrupt end because I want to connect the first session to the second session. When we talk about the visionary leaders, we should be very clear in trying to project them based on their thoughts. So when we try to make an attempt to know the vision of India which Baba Saheb developed, and that has the connectivity to realize the vision that he wanted to have, what type of India that he dreamt, what type of nation that he wanted to make each generations to live. For that, he took the democracy as a important factor to make an undemocratic society to become a democratic society. And when I had some of the questions from the learned participants, still we are living in contradictions. The last speech which made Baba Saheb in the Constituent Assembly, that speech stands even today as a guiding force for the leaders and to the electorates. Now, let us try to look in terms of realizing Baba Saheb's vision of India, the roadmap that he constructed in terms of democracy and development. These are two important issues that we have to look into it. Democracy. When we teach students democracy, we always take shelter from the cradles of democracy. We go to ancient Greek, we travel to England, but we never land up at no man's area. And this is the usual pattern that we as teachers do in the classroom. But no one, when the class on democracy is being taught, look into the parameters of Baba Saheb's advocacy on democracy. Nowhere I have learned that our political science fraternity is well enough to make the students to understand Dr. Ambedkar's concept of democracy, because never in the syllabus we teach Baba Sahib's concept of democracy. Am I correct? Am I correct or not?
Yes, sir. Correct, sir. Yes.
So we are untouched about Baba Sahib's philosophy of Ambedkar, philosophy of democracy. So therefore we are ignorant about Baba Sahib's contribution, Baba Sahib's way of looking democracy, and the safeguards that he advocated. So this is again a tragedy on teaching democracy to the students without Baba Sahib. But today I'm happy that at least through this we are trying to make an inroad by bringing Baba Sahib's perception of democracy. With this background, let me try to define Baba Sahib's perception of democracy. Before that, I want to make it very clear that he was the only Indian who is called as born Democrat. Nowhere to my mind I have come across none other than Baba Sahib that Baba Sahib was a born Democrat. Why he is called as born Democrat? Because of his understanding of rights, understanding of political system, and his vision of society and nation. He is called as born Democrat because he lived for democracy, he fought for democracy, and he expanded democratic principles to the undemocratized society. This is very clear when I'm making this observation to the political science fraternity. Then what is democracy to Baba Sahib? So which definition you take to your students on democracy? Usually we take the easy method. What is the definition you have been teaching on democracy to your students? Basuraj?
Rule of the people.
Rule
of the people.
Rule of the people. Who said this?
Lord Bryce.
Huh? Why?
Bryce.
James Bryce.
Yes.
What is the title of his book? What is the title of his book? We don't go to his original works. We borrow from some writer and we teach it. Baba Sahib has read all the 2 volumes on democracy by Bryce, James Bryce. And he has extensively quoted James Bryce in many occasions at the Constituent Assembly Tell your students that Baba Sahib has quoted James Price on many instances, and also Edmund Burke on many instances in the Constituent Assembly. We don't tell, we don't educate them because we don't want to be educated. Then what is the definition of Baba Sahib? Can anyone?
So, sir, according to Baba Sahib,
Fine.
democracy is more than a political machine, and it is more than a social system. And according to him, it is an attitude of mind, of a philosophy and beliefs or something. He said it's an attitude of life according to him. It's a philosophy of life according to him. As I've read somewhere.
I take from your sentences only one phrase, attitude.
Yeah. But I feel it is more important because the citizenship building is very important. When we build democratic citizens, democracy will be successful. But I think nowadays
I'm talking about what is democracy. Success and success comes afterwards. What is democracy? According to Baba Sahib. Anyone, please? Shobha Devi Rathod.
Sir,
Yeah.
bringing change in social and political.
Chitrashekar. The same question I asked at Delhi University when I was a visiting professor of Delhi University to the political science teachers, that too at the refresher course.
Yeah.
I got only the smart answers, but not an appropriate answer. And that is the fate of political science teachers of India today.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Please, madam, please.
Sir, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಸಮಾನತೆಗೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ವೋ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಮಾನತೆಯನ್ನ ಕಾಪಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರುತ್ತೋ ಅದೇ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಸರ್ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಸಮಾನತೆಗೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ವೋ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸಮಾನಾಗಿ ರಾಜಕೀಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇರುತ್ತೋ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿ.
ಅದು ಯಾವ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿ ಅದು? ಯಾವ ಡೆಮೋಕ್ರಸಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ?
ಜನತಾ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ, ಜನಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಗಳ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ. According to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar.
I am thankful that you are making a sincere attempt. Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Baba Sahib defined democracy as it's a form of government. It's a form of government. For what?
Change. To bring change without any bloodshed.
Very good. Yarappa ಹೇಳಿದವರು ಅದನ್ನ?
Sir, Baswaraj.
ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಕೇಳಿದೆ ಬಸವರಾಜ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. Very
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್,
important.
ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ ಸರ್?
Okay, fine.
Okay.
It's a form of government whereby revolutionary changes.
Without any bloodshed.
Yes, revolutionary changes in the economic and social mode of life of the individuals are brought about without bloodshed. This is his definition. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಒಂದು ಮಾದರಿಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರ. ಅದು ಜನರ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಮತ್ತು ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಬದುಕುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರಾಂತಿಕಾರಕ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗಳನ್ನ ರಕ್ತರಹಿತವಾಗಿ ಸ್ಥಾಪಿಸಿ.
ರಕ್ತರಹಿತ ಕ್ರಾಂತಿಕಾರಕ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ.
ನೋಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲಡ್ಲೆಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ರೆವಲ್ಯೂಷನರಿ ಚೇಂಜಸ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೆಮಾಕ್ರಸಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೇಳಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಸುಮಾ ಅವರು, ಆಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ. ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಟೆಡ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಡೆಮಾಕ್ರಸಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೆಸರು ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ associated living.
Attitude illa sir namge.
Huh?
Attitude illa nam society.
Society ಇರೋರು ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ?
ಹೌದು ಸರ್.
ಅದನ್ನ ತರ ಬಾಬಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು.
ಹೌದು.
Associated living. It's a mode of associated living. It's a mode of associated living. So when he talks about socio-economic life of the individual, revolutionary changes without bloodshed, Baba Sahib was the only person who talked about democracy in 3 types. Political democracy, as Madam has said. The second is social democracy, and the third is economic democracy. These are the 3 democracies that Baba Sahib. Really? Yes. Pushpalata, you want to say something? Political democracy, Madam Meladrilla. ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಪ್ರಾತಿನಿಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮಾನತೆ. We have achieved political democracy. Have we achieved political democracy? Suma?
Not in true sense, sir.
No, I'm sorry. We have achieved in true sense political democracy.
So it cannot be measured by representation.
It has to be.
Sometimes people voice is not heard by the ruling authorities.
What is
So
political
and
democracy?
sometimes I feel it is not there. It is not participatory in real sense because
You make them participatory. When they are not performing, then why you want to make the non-performers as your representative?
yeah, yes, sir. That is true, sir. That's true. That's
My question is, political democracy we have achieved, and you are saying no. How many of you take the stand of Suma? Because I am making very clear that we have achieved political democracy. And India is the first country to achieve political democracy from the first general election itself.
That is in terms of institutional setup, sir.
That's no institutional setup. When we are made to elect 543 representatives to parliament, we have elected it. Janardhan Reddy, why you are becoming so tired?
Yes, sir, I am also accepting, sir.
When Baba Sahib was talking about political democracy,
It
means one man, one vote, one value.
Yes, sir.
We have established political equals. One man, one vote, one value.
One value.
If Suma votes, the value is also the same. If Janardhan Reddy votes, the value is also the same.
Just like a veto power, sir.
No, it's not a veto power. Veto power is something which is different, which is discretionary power given to the highest authority. But here, each electorates are casting one vote, one value. That is political democracy. Whether he is a graduate or illiterate, whether he is a taxpayer or not, whether he is a government servant or not, whether he is from upper strata of the society or the lower strata of the society, irrespective of the caste, gender, religion, place of birth, we have made political democracy from the first election itself. Only after the world wars, England gave franchise to women.
Women, yes, sir.
That is their history, but our history is from the first election itself,
Equal
the
opportunity.
franchise was universal adult suffrage. The credit should go to whom?
Dr. B.R. Ambedkar.
B.R. Ambedkar.
Why? Because I mentioned in the first session that his journey started through Southborough Committee. That was way back in 1917. When the Britishers were giving the franchise based on certain restrictions, Baba Sahib's question to the British authorities that you are keeping 1/10 of your population outside and making franchise workable. This is not the truest sense. Lothian Committee, Buddhiman Committee, in all such franchise committee related committees, Baba Sahib talked about franchise to be given on the basis of equality. So political democracy from the first general election itself, by one man, one vote, one value, we have created and established political democracy. So this is clear. Suma, one man, one vote, one value is clear.
Yeah, that is clear, sir.
Yes.
Still, I have many questions in my mind.
I will also come to the question.
Yeah.
And this one man, one vote value has to fulfill your questions
Yes,
through
sir.
answers.
I agree, sir.
And he says, for that, it is social democracy and economic democracy. So this political democracy should establish social democracy and
Yes.
economic democracy.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Then what is social democracy?
Equal social opportunities and
What is social
equality,
democracy?
equality irrespective of caste, sex, religion, creed differences.
Social democracy is which Baba Sahib talked about ideal society.
Equal social
What did
status.
he, yes, what did he talked about ideal society? Liberty, equality, and
Equality.
social democracy. The political democracy should assure and establish social democracy. Social democracy means liberty, equality, and freedom. So your representatives, your political masters, your political class should work to establish social democracy. Then what is economic democracy? Where can we find economic democracy in the Constitution of India? Dr. Mallikarjun?
In DPSP, sir.
Very good. Very good. In the director principle of state policy, Baba Sahib created a way for economic democracy. You know that Baba Sahib was a great economist. Can anyone tell me his economic writings? Yes?
Problem of rupee?
Yes. Problem of rupee, then? Still your rupee is having the same problem?
Yes, sir.
Huh? When
Yes,
Baba
sir.
Sahib has shown the way to reduce the problem of the rupee, why you are not accepted? You go to his problem of the rupee, you study his theory that he has built up, and the suggestions that he has given up. The problem of rupee, then coming to the federal system. evolution of provisional finance in British India. Then with regard to agriculture,
Small holdings, sir.
And small holding.
all holdings and its
Economics
remedies.
and-
Remedies, sir.
Yes,
Small
all
holding
holding and its remedies.
ಗ್ರೇನ್ ರೀಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್ ಅವರು.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಮರ್ತ್ಯ ಸೇನ್ ಬಾಬಾ ಸಾಹೇಬರ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಚಿಂತನೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು?
ಫಾದರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್ ಅವರು. ನಾನು ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಅರ್ಥಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ
My greatest teacher in economics
ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ.
Baba Sahib. Baba Sahib.
Reserve Bank of India ಬಗ್ಗೆ sir.
Yes, RBI.
Reserve Bank of India sir.
Wonderful.
ಹೌದು sir.
So you are ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟೀ ಕುಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಹಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಹಿಲ್ಟನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಅವರು
ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್.
ಸರ್
ಹಿಲ್ಟನ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಕಮಿಷನ್.
Yes, Royal Commission. See, I'm very happy today. At least my political science fraternity is going to political economy, because political science was not bifurcated. It was with political economy. It was with political economy. It was the classical days where Adam Smith, Ricardo studied that. And Baba Sahib's very interesting area in economics was public finance. And his greatest teacher was Professor R.A. Seligman. A Fabenian follower. R.A. Seligman. So, when Baba Sahib was talking about democracy in terms of political, economic, and social, he wanted Indian democracy to be on three sides as liberty, equality, and fraternity. And you can't bifurcate. You can't keep one and take two, or you can't take two and keep one, or you can't take only one and keep two other. Please unmute. Disturbance ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. So these three democracies in the triangle way has to create a inclusive India.
ನಾಗರಾಜ್ ಸರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
Please unmute when you want to speak, one at a time. Don't disturb others. So when he was advocating political, economic, and social democracy, he was very clear in his concepts, because he was a pragmatic thinker. Baba Sahib was very clear in his concepts, in his writings. When you want to say that it should happen like this, why and what is the reason, everything is clear in his approach. So political, economic, and social democracy was the vision of Baba Sahib to make the vision of the new India to be more democratically and constitutionally oriented. This various stand when it took up that in India democracy is a top class dressing. In India, democracy is a top class dressing. For us, we see the celebrations. So it's a top class dressing. It looks very attractive. But the fruits, the goods that it delivers are very, very important. Never he has kept the way at crossroads. When he says that political democracy, one man, one vote, one value, and this value should add strength to society and economy. Where is our economy now? Where is our farmers? What is the unemployment ratio? Democracy should address this. That is the reason why most of the nations accepted democracy, because it is the solution for many problems. And to safeguard democracy and to make democracy more successful, Baba Sahib, he gives the essential conditions for the working of Indian democracy. He never says and leaves us in a confusion status. He tries to give the results for our problems. Have India exercised democracy before the advent of British rule? Is India is known for democracy only after the independence?
No, sir. Provincial level representation through, they created some sort of democratic way.
Where?
Provincial assembly representation and 1935 Act, some sort of representation, not fully democratic.
My question is, before British rule,
Sir, during the Vedic period, there were some Sabha and Samiti, these two institutions who used to elect the representatives of the people.
in ancient India. In ancient India,
Ancient
Sabha and
India.
Samiti acted as the
Oh.
Panchayats.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that means to say that you are arguing that India as the democratic ethos in the ancient period.
Some traits were there, sir. That time.
Definitely, I agree this.
Sir, even under Chola's ruling, we can trace some
Local governments.
local
Yes, local
government.
self-government. Cholas were the champions of local self-government.
Local.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. I am going, even Chola period is not an ancient period. We have declared in India, in the constitution, as India as a sovereign democratic republic. It's a sovereign democratic republic. From where the word republic came? From where the word republic came?
Usually,
American constituency.
usually Greek, sir.
Huh?
Greek, Plato Republic.
Plato used a republic, sir, first.
ಮಹಾಜನಪದ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯಸ್.
ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು? Who told?
ಮಹಾಜನಪದ ಗಣರಾಜ್ಯಸ್.
Very good. Very good.
6. Yes.
Republics of
What's your
Little
name?
India.
What's
Sir,
your name?
Manjunath case. Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
See, Manjunath gave the appropriate answer. We are not new to democracy. India had the direct democratic practices in ancient period. Malava Republic we had, Lichavi Republic we had. That means to say that India was once a democratic India. But we lost. Why we lost? Why we lost?
No recorded evidence. We did not created
No.
historical evidence.
No, gentleman Janardhan Reddy. It is recorded. We had Malava Republic, Lichavi Republic. If you go to the Buddhist Jatakas, you can see the evidentiary documents. If you read Altekar, Ancient India, yes, someone was speaking about Sabha and Samiti. So republic, the very concept of republic is Indian concept. Don't say it is America, other countries. It is our concept. we should all feel proud that Republican concept, much before Plato gave his title to his work as Republic, India exercised Republican culture. We had republics in the ancient period. And through Constitution, we revived, we brought back the Republic character to the state. I hope now we can understand. So we all should feel proud that the Republican culture was re-established in the form of the Constitution. You tell your students, Republic culture is the ancient Indian culture. This is evident even in the Constituent Assembly debates. Janardhan Reddy, if you go through the Constituent Assembly debates,
Yes, sir.
it is reflected that how we lost Republic. And now we have established.
But unfortunately, this is not highlighting, sir.
You should highlight
The
because
IT curriculum is only dominating syllabus premi. This kind of analysis they never put forth in the syllabus.
when you teach democratic practices to the
Yes, we
students,
also teaching, sir, but in the curriculum.
Janardhan Reddy, please
sir.
listen. You don't expect everything to be in the syllabi. Syllabi is a broad framework wherein you can help your students to expand the horizon of his thinking. A true teacher's responsibility is this. Try to expand them. I know we're all living in the semesters age. It is very difficult. But if you have a passion, make it a reality. The students will feel proud of you. They enjoy. And they will become great leaders. This is what I expect from each teacher. As Aristotle has said, political science is a kingly science. Political science is a kingly science. So we are all making each students to become the rulers. Teach students to think rationally. to become an asset to the nation, not a liability to the nation. Political science is never reliable to the state, nation system. It's an asset for every problem. You look into the political spectrometer, diagnose it properly, have a discussion, have a debate, have a deliberations at length, that come out with a solution. That can be done only in democracy. And this is this place where we have to be active. We say vibrant democracy, Indian democracy is vibrant. Because of varied diversities. And we have created a strong democratic force through Constitution. We have made the public institutions to become more democratic. Our assembly, our apex court, our institutions. So with this background, let me try to bring the conditions which Baba Saheb has put forth to make democracy more meaningful. He has given 7 important conditions. Number 1, Pushpalata, she is traveling. She's going back to her home. So we have become mobile, sitting somewhere, doing something, enjoying something. It has become.
Excuse me? No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
So I will give you the 7 conditions to make democracy more meaningful. Number 1, if you want to make your democracy more successful, then there should not be glaring inequalities in this society. There should not be glaring inequalities in this society. The purpose of having democracy is to establish equality, egalitarian society. But political power in the name of democracy should not increase the inequalities. And today inequality is mounting up. And this is the greatest threat to the working of Indian Constitution. Number 2, existence of opposition. The second condition which Baba Saheb advocated is existence of opposition. Where is your opposition today? You don't have opposition in the Lok Sabha. Our electorate has failed to create a strong opposition. We want to win. We don't want to be defeated. And in the world today, we are prone to new experiments in democratic practices. Baba Saheb wanted that there should be a strong opposition. Number 3, equality in law and administration. At least in the constitutional spirit, we have equality in law and administration. We are all equals before law and equal protection for everyone in front of law. Administration, though, we have some protective discrimination in the name of affirmative action. In the name of law and administration, democratic nation stands good. The 4th is very important, observance of constitutional morality. What is this constitutional morality? As teachers, what is our morality? As Janardhan Reddy was expecting that everything should be in the syllabus? No.
No, sir.
No, when we talk about morality, morality is something which we want to cultivate.
Yes, yes.
And we want to cultivate the constitutional morality. As an electorate, as a representative, as a citizen, as a person enjoying the rights, as a person discharging the responsibility in the public capacity. That is the constitutional morality. And morality has to be cultivated. What are we cultivating? What are we cultivating today? Sir, I am from Ballari, so I should be in Ballari only. I am from Mysore, I should be in Mysore only. This is what we are cultivating, Janardhan Reddy. Yes. Yes. Baba Sahib said way back before India getting independence, he told in the Bombay Legislative Assembly that his vision of a nation is Indian first, Indian last, nothing else except Indian. That morality he had. Indian first, Indian last, nothing else except Indian. So you can gauge his vision of a nation, his vision of democracy and development. When we are talking about political democracy, we are talking about the political development. When we are talking about social democracy, we are talking about social development of the society and the nation. When we are talking about the economic democracy, we are talking about the economic stability, the sustainable growth. Much before the World Bank spoke on human development, it was Baba Sahib who spoke on human development as an individual development. This development definition is make individual to develop. Provide all the necessary conditions for the growth of the individual. That is his development. To add to this, you have multi-purpose river valley projects. You have big industries. The growth in terms of agrarian society, in terms of labor society, in terms of
Wow.
yes.
Fine.
Hello.
Sorry, sir. Sorry.
So constitutional morality, when it came to the observance of constitutional morality, Baba Sahib gives the example of the President of America, Washington. Washington was pressurized by his people to become president again and again. And Washington says, we have established the American presidency. We have written a constitution for all of us. And I don't want to contest because though you force, I can win with all your supports, but I am breaking the morality of the Constitution. I should uphold the constitutional morality. I have written the Constitution for the Americans. I don't want to break by contesting because of your support. That type of constitutional morality, our leaders should established before the people. That is the constitutional morality. And the next condition is, the fifth condition is moral order. Moral order is very important. In the fundamental rights, we have imposed restrictions based on public order and morality. We have imposed the restrictions based on public order and morality. Man is a moral animal. As an electorate, he should prove that he is morally correct. As a teacher, I should prove that I am morally correct. As a mother, she should prove that she is morally correct. As a father, he should prove that he is morally correct. So, morality is the face value of the society, individual, and the nation. To make democracy to become more meaningful, we all should be morally conscious. We should contribute to the growth of morality. And the sixth is public consciousness. Where is public consciousness? When Janardhan Reddy was talking about the syllabus from Ballari region, what happened to the other regions in the society? Why they are not opening their voice? So public consciousness is this, which makes that though it directly affects me or not, if it is publicly, it is not correct, then our conscience should say that it is not correct in the public sense. If somewhere some injustice is taking place, you can't sit silent as a spectator because it is not concerned to me. You have a voice, and that is the public voice, and that is the public consciousness. When democracy is not working in terms of its democratic practices, when it is working in terms of undemocratic practices, the public consciousness should be always strong. Only then your democracy will be in the right path. The last is the free and fair elections. Are we seeing the free and fair elections today?
No, sir.
No.
Then why
No,
for
sir.
elections? Why for election commission? Because we have lost the constitutional morality, we have lost the moral order, we have lost the public consciousness. Therefore, see the relations of the 7 conditions which Baba Sahib is talking. All are interrelated. They all are interrelated to make democracy to be in the safer position. Even Baba Sahib knew very, very well that the fair and free elections in India should be not an easy one. Because of what? Because of our parochial thinking, narrow-mindedness, our selfishness. And he gives the example of Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, what did Bhishma Did? What did we first? Huh? Gangappa?
Partiality, he made a partiality, sir.
No, he was impartial fellow. Vishwa never made impartiality. Though he knew that he is in the wrong side. Though he knew that he is in the wrong side. He stood for them because he ate their salt. So today, the political parties are under the clutches of whom? This was anticipated by Baba Sahib during his time, and therefore he quoted Bhishma. Bhishma, a very strong person. He was with Kauravas and he fought for them because he ate the salt, so he has to be loyal to them. Today, the political parties are loyal to their people who have funded, who have supported this year's anticipated.
Capitalists and businessmen.
Capitalists
and businessmen, industrialists.
So Indian elections have become a costly affair. Then where is the poor man? If you look at the affidavits filed by our elected representatives, where do they stand? Where is the Indian democracy standing? Can a common man seek an entry into the assembly? So where the democracy is being going? And the last caution that Baba Sahib gives is, if democracy fails in this land, the result will be anarchy or rebellion. If democracy fails on this land, the result will be anarchy or rebellion. That is the caution given by Baba Sahib. With this, I'll stop here. I'll give 15 minutes for the discussion from the first session to this session.
Excuse me, sir.
Please.
Hello.
Really?
Sir, excuse me.
ನಾನು
ಸರ್ ದಾನೇಗೌಡರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾಗಮಂಗಲ. ಸರ್, ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ಹಲವಾರು ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಕಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇದು ತಕ್ಕ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನಾದ್ರೂ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಒಂದು 2 ನಿಮಿಷ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್.
ಮಾತಾಡಿ.
ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ವಿಶ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮ ಸಮಾಜ ಸುಧಾರಕ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಗಾಂಧಿಗಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಮಾರ್ಟಿನ್ ಲೂಥರ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ಗಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಅಬ್ರಹಾಂ ಲಿಂಕ್ಗಾಗ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ. ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ವೈವಿಧ್ಯಮಯವಾದಂತಹ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾತಿ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾಜ ಸುಧಾರಣೆಯನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಹೋರಾಟ ಏನಿತ್ತು, ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕವಾಗಿ, ಆರ್ಥಿಕವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ರಾಜಕೀಯವಾಗಿ ಸಮಾನತೆಯನ್ನ ತರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಹೋರಾಟ, ಅದು ಈಡೇರಿದೆಯೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ನನ್ಗೆ ಈಗ್ಲೂ ಜಿಜ್ಞಾಸೆ ಕಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇದೆ. ಅಲ್ಪ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ನಗರ ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಪಟ್ಟಣ ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗ್ರಾಮೀಣ ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ್ಲೂ ಇದೆ ಅಸಮಾನತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತೆ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ ಸಾಂವಿಧಾನಿಕವಾಗಿಯೇ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಅನುಭವಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೇಡ. ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಸಮಾನತೆ ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ ಇದೆಯಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ ಜಾರಿಗೆ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರ ಉದ್ದೇಶವನ್ನ ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥೈಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದೇ ಕಾರಣ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನಾದ್ರೂ ಭಾವಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಅವರು ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಯಾರು ದಮನಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳಗಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೋ, ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಯಾರು ತುಳಿತಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳಗಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೋ, ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕವಾಗಿ, ಆರ್ಥಿಕವಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ರಾಜಕೀಯವಾಗಿ ಅಂತವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಮೀಸಲಾತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಅವರನ್ನ ಇತರೆ ವರ್ಗದ ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ತರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಇವತ್ತು ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಅದೇ ವರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ, ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗತ್ ಬೇಡ ಇದು. ಅದೇ ವರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲವರು ಉನ್ನತ ಸ್ಥಾನಮಾನವನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ಕಬಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆ ವರ್ಗವನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೂ ಅದೇ ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಏನೋ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಭಾವನೆ ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಹಳ್ಳಿನಲ್ಲೇ ನಾನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ನನ್ನ ಹಳ್ಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಒಂದು 10 ಕುಟುಂಬಸ್ಥರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಪಾಪ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ನೋವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕೂಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರತಿದಿನನೂ ಒದ್ದಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಜೀವನ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಅದೇ ಹಳ್ಳಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 4 ಮನೆ ಸುಭದ್ರವಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಕಿತ್ಕೊಂಡು ತಿಂತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಕ್ಷರಶಃ ಕಿತ್ಕೊಂಡು ತಿಂತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ವರ್ಗಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನೂವರೆಗೂ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯ ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ತಾವೇನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ ಸರ್? ಅವರಿಂದನೇ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ
ನಾನೇಗೌಡ್ರೆ, ನೀವು ಒಬ್ಬ ರಾಜ್ಯಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದ
ಹೌದು ಸರ್
ಮೇಷ್ಟ್ರಾಗಿ
ಹೌದು ಸರ್
ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯರ ರೀತಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋದನ್ನ ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಒಪ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ತಯಾರಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ
ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ನಾನು
ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕಳಕಳಿಯಿಂದ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಳಕಳಿಯನ್ನ ನಾನು ಗೌರವಿಸಕ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾ ಮೊದ್ಲೇ ಪ್ರಾಗ್ಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಥಿಂಕರ್ ಅಂತ, ಬಾಬಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ ಅವರನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಗ್ಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಥಿಂಕರ್ ಅಂತ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹಳ್ಳಿಲಿ ಬರೀ 4 ಜನ ಉದ್ಧಾರ ಆಗಿರೋದನ್ನೇ ಸಹಿಸ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಆಗದೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಮನಸ್ಥಿತಿ
ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಕೋನ
ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಅದ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಕ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಕೇಳಿ.
ಹೇಳಿ
ನಾನೇಗೌಡ್ರೆ,
ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ನಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದ್ 4 ಕುಟುಂಬ ನನ್ನ ಗ್ರಾಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬದುಕ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಜರ್ನಿ ಯಾವಾಗಪ್ಪ?
ನನ್ನ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಅದಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಇಲ್ಲ ರೀ, ಅದು ಬೇಕದು.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್,
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ಬರೀ 4 ಜನ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ, ಆ 4 ಜನ ಯಾವಾಗಿಂದ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಜರ್ನಿ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಯ್ತು? ಭಾರತ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಯ್ತು.
ಹೌದು ಸರ್.
ಭಾರತ ಸಂವಿಧಾನಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹಿಂದೆ ತಲತಲಾಂತರದಿಂದ ಅನುಭವಿಸ್ತವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ನೀವು ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಬೀಳಲ್ಲ
ಸರ್? ನನ್ಗೆ ಈಗ್ಲೂ ನನ್ ಕಾಳಜಿಯಿಂದ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು.
ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆನೂ ಕಾಳಜಿಯಿಂದ ಇರುವಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ.
ಹೌದು ಸರ್, ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ನಮ್ಮ 25 ವರ್ಷದ ನಡಿಗೆಯಲ್ಲಿ 4 ಕುಟುಂಬ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡಾಗ ಶತಶತಮಾನಗಳಿಂದ ಅವರ ಬದುಕುಗಳು ಹೇಗಿತ್ತು, ಆ ಇಂಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗಿತ್ತು?
ಇಲ್ಲ
ಅವ್ರೊಬ್ರೇ ಕಬಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಬಳಿಸಕ್ ಅದು ಸಾಧ್ಯನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರು ಓದಿ ನೋಡಿ. ಈಗ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕಾರಣ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಮಾತಾಡೋದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಶೈಕ್ಷಣಿಕವಾಗಿ ಹಿಂದುಳಿದಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕವಾಗಿ ಹಿಂದುಳಿದಿರ್ಬೇಕು.
ಹೌದು ಸರ್.
ಅವ್ರ 4 ಕುಟುಂಬ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಶ್ರೀಮಂತವಾಗಿರೋ ಕೂಡ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಸ್ಪೃಶ್ಯತೆಯಿಂದ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇದಾರ. ಅವ್ರ ಸಿಟಿಗೆ ಬಂದ್ರು ಮನೆಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ಜಾತಿ ಅಂತ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ವೆಜ್
ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ನನ್ನ ಕಾಳಜಿನ ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿ
ಖಂಡಿತ ಕಾಳಜಿ ನಿಮ್ದು ತಪ್ಪು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸು ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇದಾವೆಲ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇದು ಸರ್ವೇ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಬರುವಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ಇದು.
ಹೇಳಿ.
ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ವಿಚಾರ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇದು ಸರ್ವೇ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಬರುವಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ. ಒಂದೇ ಕುಟುಂಬದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಒಂದೇ ಕುಟುಂಬದವ್ರು ಅಂತ. ಇದ್ರ ಜರ್ನಿ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭವಾಗಿರೋದು 75 ವರ್ಷ ಇತಿಹಾಸ. ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹಿಂದೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಗ್ ಬದುಕ್ತಿದ್ರು ಆಗ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆನ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬರೀ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ.
ಸರಿ ಸರ್.
ನಾವು ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ತಿಂತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೂಡ ನಾನು ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿನೇ ಅಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ದು ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಸಮಾಜವನ್ನ ಕಟ್ಟುವಂತದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾಬಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರು ಮೀಸಲಾತಿಯನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಸಾಧನ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಆ ಮೀಸಲಾತಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಯಾವ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ಗಳು ನೀವು ಜಸ್ಟಿಸ್ ನಾಗಮೋಹನ್ ದಾಸ್ ಅವ್ರ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಕಮೆಂಡೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಹಿನ್ನೆಲೆ ಏನಿದೆ, ಅವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಅಂಕಿ ಅಂಶಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಹೌದು ಸರ್.
ನನಗೆ ನಾಗಮಂಗಲ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಗ್ರಾಮ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಇಡೀ ಭಾರತದ ಗ್ರಾಮನ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಆಗ್ತದೆ.
ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆಗೂ ಈ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಜ್ವಲಂತವಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಭಾವನೆ ಸರ್. ಇದು
ಈ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಜ್ವಲಂತವಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗೆ ಪರಿಹಾರವನ್ನ ಕಂಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾನದಂಡ ಏನು? ಆ
ಮಾನದಂಡವನ್ನ ಈಗ್ಲೂನು ಕೂಲಿ ನಾಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಅದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇಸರ ತರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅವರು, ಅದನ್ನ ತಪ್ಸಕ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ.
ತಪ್ಸಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನ ತಪ್ಸಕ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಪ್ಸಕ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಕಾರಣರು? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು
ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸದೇ ಇರೋದೇ ಕಾರಣವೇನು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಏನು ಕಾರಣ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ನಂಗೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತವೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಂಗೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾನೆಲ್ಲ ತಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
ಹೌದು ಸರ್.
ಈಗ ನಮಗೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಇನ್ನು ಅದನ್ನ ಸರಿಪಡ್ಸಕ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ? ಮೀಸಲಾತಿ ವಿಚಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ 10 yearsಗೆ ನಿಲ್ಸಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಬಾಬಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ರಿ ಶತಮಾನದಿಂದನೇ ನೀವು ಸುಧಾರಣೆ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾದ್ರೆ 10 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಪವಾಡ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. 10 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಪವಾಡ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಹೌದು ಸರ್.
ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಆ ಮಿರಾಕಲ್ ನ ನಂಬೋರೇ ಅವರಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಅವ್ರು ಇನ್ನೂ ಕೂಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಅವ್ರ ಕೂಲಿಲೇ ಇದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಹೊಣೆ ಯಾರು ಹೊರ್ಬೇಕು? ಇಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೊರ್ಬೇಕು. ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇ ಅಲ್ವೇನ್ರಿ ದನಗೌಡ್ರೆ?
ನಾವೇನೆ
ಎಲ್ರೂ ಹೊರ್ಬೇಕು.
ಹೌದು ಸರ್.
ನಾನು ಒಬ್ಬ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಟೀಚರ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಗ್ರಾಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂದಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಪರಿಹಾರದ ದಿಕ್ಕನ್ನ ಸೂಚಿಸುವ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ, ಬರೀ ಮಾತುಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಕೃತಿಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ.
ಹೌದು ಸರ್.
ಆ ಕುಟುಂಬದವರಿಗೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರವು ಕೊಡುವಂತಹ ಶೈಕ್ಷಣಿಕ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳು, ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ಸಿಗುವಂತಹ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಒದಗಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜಕಾರಣ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು. ನಿಜವಾದ
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
ಫಲಾನುಭವಿ ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅವನು ಗುರುತಿಸಿ ಅವನಿಗೆ ತಲುಪಿಸ್ಬೇಕು.
ಅಲ್ಲೇ ತಪ್ಪಾಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾನು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಸರ್.
ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಅಲ್ರಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿರೋರು ಯಾರ್ರಿ? ನಾವುಗಳೇ ಅಲ್ವೇನ್ರಿ?
ನಾವೇನೆ
ನನಗೆ ಅವ್ನು ಓಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವ್ನ ಫಲಾನುಭವಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ತೆಗೆದು ಬಿಡು ಅಂತ. ಅದ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಇರೋದು ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ಓಟ್ ಹಾಕೋರ್ಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಒಂದು ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ.
ಹೌದು ಸರ್.
ಇವತ್ತು ಹಳ್ಳಿಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರು ಬುದ್ಧಿವಂತರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯಾರು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕುಳ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದ್ ಹಳ್ಳಿಲಿ ಒಂದು ಫಲಾನುಭವಿಗಳನ್ನ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಸುಲಭ ಅಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಮಂಡ್ಯ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯವನ್ನೇ. ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಗ್ರಾಮಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ದೌರ್ಜನ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪರಿಹಾರವನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಸೂಚಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಒಂದು ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅರಿವನ್ನ ಮೂಡಿಸುವಂತ ಕೆಲಸ. ಈಗ ನಾನೇಗೌಡರು ಅವ್ರ ಗ್ರಾಮದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ, ನೀವು
ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಎಚ್ಚರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಸರ್. ಇಂತ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ನೀವು ಪಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಇಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಎಚ್ಚರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಸರ್.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು
ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕಾಳಜಿ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
ನಾನೇಗೌಡ್ರ ಬಾಬಾ ಸಾಹೇಬ್ ನಿನಗೆ ನೀನೇ ಬೆಳಕು ಅಂತ. ಮಹಾತ್ಮ ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್. But the plight of the untouchables remained the same in India ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಉದ್ಧಾರ ನಮ್ಮಿಂದನೇ. ಅಸಹಾಯಕರನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕೈ ಹಿಡಿದು ನಡೆಸುವಂತಹ ಸೌಜನ್ಯತೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಮಾರಲ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಮಾರಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು. ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಮಾರಾಲಿಟಿ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯವನ್ನ ನನ್ನೊಬ್ಬನಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಿ, ನಾನು ಪಡೆದದ್ದೇ ಪಡ್ಕೊತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು
we have to identify and ನಮ್ದು ತುಂಬಾ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೇಶ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದ್ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಬಗೆಹರಿಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಇದೆ. ಅಷ್ಟಾಗಿಯೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಇದೀವಿ. ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಭಾರತ 75 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಸಾಧಿಸಿರುವ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಯ ಪಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಮೆಚ್ಚುಗೆಯನ್ನ ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ. ವಿತ್ ಆಲ್ ಚಾಲೆಂಜಸ್. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾರ್ಟಾಲಿಟಿ ರೇಟು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡೆತ್ ರೇಟು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್, ಇವೆಲ್ಲರಲ್ಲೂ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಮುನ್ನುಗ್ಗಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಸಿಂಗ್. ನಾವೇನು ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ದು 75 years ಆಫ್ ಜರ್ನಿಗೆ ನಮ್ದು ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಾರ್ದು. ಇನ್ನೂ ನಾವು ಈ 75 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾರತದ ನಡೆ ಪ್ರಭುತ್ವದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಅಂತ ಅವಲೋಕನ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೊರಟಾಗ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಧನೆಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾವೆ, ಸವಾಲುಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ. ಆ ಸವಾಲುಗಳು ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಆ ಸವಾಲುಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಉತ್ತರಗಳನ್ನ ಕಂಡುಕೊಳ್ಳಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಭುತ್ವ ಇರೋದು, ಆ ಉತ್ತರಗಳನ್ನ ಕಂಡುಕೊಳ್ಳಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂವಿಧಾನ ಇರೋದು. ಆ ಮೂಲಕ ನಾವು ಮುಂದೆ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
ಮುಂದೆ ಇನ್ನೂ 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ಇದೆ ಟೈಮ್. ನನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಮೇಟ್ ಮಂಜಮ್ಮ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಮಂಜಮ್ಮ ಅವ್ರ ಏನು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳಿಲ್ವಾ?
ಸರಿ, ಅವ್ರು ಬಿಟ್ಟೇಗೌಡ್ರು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಸೇಮ್ ಅದೇ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ನನ್ಗೂನು ಸರ್.
ಅದು ನಮ್ಗ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ
ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದು. ಏನ್ ಮೇಡಮ್ ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ಈ ತರ ಇದೆ, ಕೆಲ ವರ್ಗಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ಸೀಮಿತ
ಇಲ್ಲ
ಆಗಿದೆ,
ಇಲ್ಲ ಈಗ
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್,
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿ.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಮಂಜಮ್ಮ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿ, ಇವತ್ತು ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ಇಲ್ದೇದ ಸಮುದಾಯ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ಯಾವ ಸ್ಥಿತಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೀವಿ ನಾವು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೀಸಲಾತಿಯಿಂದ ಹುಟ್ಟುವಂತ ಸಮುದಾಯಗಳು ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಮೀಸಲಾತಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ವರ್ಗದವ್ರು ಅವರಲ್ಲೇ ತುಂಬಾ ಇದ್ದುಳಿದಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ
ಇದು
ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ.
ಬರೀ SC ST ಒಂದೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿಗಳು ಇವೆ. ಪಡೆದವ್ರೆ
ಅಲ್ಲ,
ಎಲ್ಲ
ನಾನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು
ಒಂದು ಕೇಳ್ರಿ ಮಂಜಮ್ಮ, ಇದು ಈ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ರಾಷನಾಲಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ತರಗಳು ಕೊಡ್ತವು. ಒಂದು ರಾಷನಾಲಿಟಿ ಕಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ. ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ರಪ್ಪ, ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬಿಲ್ಡಪ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. when the question of reservation arises, you educate.
ಸೇಮ್ ಇದೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸರ್, ನಾನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ.
ಹಳೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಕಣಮ್ಮ ಅದು ಮಂಜಮ್ಮ, ಹಳೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಹೊರ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದೊಂದು ಹೊರ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹೊರ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು? ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಾ?
ನಾನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ವರ್ಗಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲೇನೆ ಹಿಂದುಳಿದವರೆಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಹೌದು, ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ್ದು ತಕರಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರು ಓದಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅರ್ಹರಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಲಸ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ.
ಅದೇ ಕೂಲಿ ಆಳುಗಳಿದಾರಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದೇ
ಓದ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವ ಅವರು.
ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಓದೋದಕ್ಕೆ.
ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆ ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಉಚಿತವಾದಂತಹ ಫೀಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರವೇಶ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಓದಿಸ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ
ಸರ್. ನಮ್ಮ